It's Tim again from Southwest Rangers. This is our cold start walk around video for motor number 458 for this eBay sale. This bike is a 2005 KZ1000 Current mileage on it is 50,835. From my records, when this bike was purchased from Hollywood Motors, the mileage was 39,125. So we've ridden it about 11,000 miles or in that ballpark. This bike was privately owned by the guy who ends up running the company now. He owns the company now, but when he bought this, he didn't own the company, and he bought it from Hollywood Motors and brought it back in the back of his truck. And when it got here, we got it all set up. Originally, it had all of the KZ1000 factory stuff, the strobes, the Whelen strobes on it. Don't remember what kind of siren box was in. I think it had a Whelen box in it as well. Those were replaced. You can see it doesn't have the correct side covers on it. At least it doesn't have the correct markings on the side covers. It came from Hollywood Motors that way. It still has the original box the way it came from Kawasaki. I'll show you all the police lights on it. Those are going to stay with the bike. Got these par 36s on the side, square ones. We did that so we didn't actually, they came that way so you didn't have to drill any holes in the fairing for it. Got the par 36s in the front. Got a red one on this side. And then we got Tomars on the back. And then Tomars again in the very rear, red and blue. Those will be going with the sale, though we will not be including the siren horn or the siren box. When we got this bike, I asked Lawrence what kind of, tried to get some information from him about where exactly it came from. I mean, it did come from Hollywood Motors in Burbank. He said that they told him it had been rebuilt, but he didn't say when. I say it runs like it's got a rebuilt motor, and it's never really had any serious oil leaks or anything from it. Carburation has been pretty good. It does have all of the 2005 upgrades. It's got the upgraded starter clutch, 530 O-ring chain. Still has the twin piston calipers in the front and the rear. This bike has been super reliable for us, and like all the bikes that we've kept in service, it doesn't ride like it's been wrecked. It's actually cosmetically in really great shape. This tank is in perfect shape, doesn't have any dents or anything on it. It's one of the only ones we have that doesn't have any dents. So here's the cold start. Going to prime the engine, prime the carburetors here for about 10 seconds. Probably need to choke this one a little bit to get it to run, but just for a second or two. Okie dokie. Oop, let's try that again. Now, this bike is super reliable. It's one of the good ones where you start it up and you don't really have to adjust the idle at all. I noticed this when we got it. Somebody painted the housing on this silver, and we just decided to leave it that way, even though it's kind of dumb. And everything on this bike works the way it should, as far as I can tell. Hazards work, turn signals work just fine. Headlight, tail light, brake light, everything works pretty good. You can look at the hazards on this. Yeah. Like I said, good reliable bike for us. It's been a good go-to bike since we bought it. And Lawrence owned it. He sold it to one of our other riders, Gil, who turned around and sold it to a third rider, who rode it for a while, and then we finally bought it from one of the three of them. I think it was from Rob. But like I said, it's been a good go-to bike for us. It's always been super reliable. I don't think this bike has spent more than just a few hours out of service since we bought it. Tires are in good shape. Brakes work really good. Everything about this bike is as good as we could make it. Anyway, this is the end of our walk around cold start video for motor number 458.